We tracked mislabeled weights, spoiled meat complaints, sanitation violations, and multi-million-dollar settlements across America's biggest grocery chains. 5 raised serious red flags. 3 others stood apart for the right reasons. From decades-old exposés still haunting one brand to a 2026 scandal that caught a retail giant in the middle of a cover-up, this investigation ranks all 8 on the evidence. The trail starts at number 5, where polished packaging hides a real trust problem. In the 5th place, Target sets off the warning side of the list, not because of a single explosive scandal, but for a persistent lack of confidence lurking behind its polished meat case. In June 2025, Target finished 20th out of 20 in a meat quality ranking, a result that raised eyebrows among industry watchers and shoppers alike. The private label chicken, neatly packaged under the Good & Gather brand, drew alarm from customers who expected better from a store known for its clean, modern presentation. Yet the shine of branding does little to guarantee what is inside the tray. The logic is familiar. A recognizable logo on the package is no substitute for real control over sourcing and safety. While Target's record stops short of the most dramatic enforcement actions, the pattern is clear. Slick packaging can mask weak standards, leaving shoppers with more questions than answers about what they are really taking home for dinner. In the 4th place, Safeway presents a case of brand trust colliding with uncomfortable facts. The chain's reputation for higher prices and polished meat displays suggests a safer, more premium product. Yet a 2006 NBC Dateline investigation uncovered 25 critical violations during just 10 undercover visits, exposing cracks in the store's food safety practices. The findings included sanitation lapses and procedural failures that would concern any shopper expecting more for their money. Behind the familiar logo and premium labels, much of Safeway's meat still passes through the same industrial supply chain as discount competitors. Procurement records from 2025 reveal that some of the chain's so-called premium beef is sourced from the same Kansas plant supplying budget brands, yet sold at a marked-up price. This disconnect between image and reality raises the question, does paying more at Safeway actually buy better meat, or just a more expensive version of the same commodity? The evidence points to a broken promise, where higher prices and a household name do not guarantee a safer or more trustworthy meat department. In the 3rd place, Food Lion's meat counter carries the weight of a reputation bruised by scandal and never quite restored. The defining moment dates back to 1992, when ABC hidden camera investigation accused the chain of mixing expired meat with fresh cuts. Even decades later, that exposé lingers as a cautionary tale, shaping how shoppers view every package behind Food Lion's glass. The suspicion has not faded with time. In recent years, complaints have surfaced about a chemical, chlorine-like smell in the meat department, and reports of products spoiling days ahead of their sell-by dates. Unlike chains where the main concern is price or inconsistent branding, Food Lion's problem is deeper, rooted in doubts about handling and freshness that have followed the brand for generations. The result is a persistent sense of distrust, where even a well-wrapped steak can trigger questions about what's really gone on behind the scenes. For many, the stain of past allegations still colors every purchase. In the 2nd place, Stop & Shop becomes a case study in how a routine trip to the meat counter can go wrong in ways that are both mundane and deeply troubling. The warning signs here aren't buried in decades-old exposés or whispered rumors. They're current, concrete, and hard to ignore. Throughout 2025, shoppers filed a steady stream of complaints about spoiled meat, describing packages that looked fine on the outside but failed the most basic test of freshness once opened at home. The story took a sharper turn in 2026, when the chain was hit with a fine of $75,000, an official penalty that transformed a pattern of customer frustration into a matter of regulatory enforcement. This isn't about one-off mistakes or isolated incidents. The core issue is a breakdown in reliability at a mainstream grocery store, where shoppers expect the meat case to deliver on its promise of safety and freshness. The evidence is recent, the consequences are real, and the message is simple. When a store can't guarantee the basics, trust evaporates, no matter how familiar the logo or how ordinary the setting. And finally, in first place, Walmart stands as the most glaring cautionary tale in the American meat aisle. In January 2026, a Georgia shopper, armed with a TikTok account, revealed a troubling pattern. Packages of chicken and Kentucky Legend hams, labeled at nearly double their actual weight, were being sold at full price. The evidence was impossible to ignore. A $19 tray of chicken that weighed just over half what the label claimed, and hams marked at nearly 5 pounds that barely tipped the scale at less than 2. Within weeks, the story spread, prompting Walmart to announce a formal investigation and Kentucky Legend to pull its products from every Walmart shelf. This was not a first offense. The chain had already settled $5.6 million in a case in California and $9.5 million in a national class action, both tied to meat overcharging. The pattern is clear: documented deception at the register, supplier fallout, and a corporate response that only followed public exposure. No other grocer in the country has combined such visible proof of mislabeling, direct financial harm, and a trail of legal settlements. For shoppers who thought brand scale meant safety, Walmart's meat department offers a sobering lesson. Sometimes the biggest name on the block hides the most expensive mistake. Number 3, on the worth it side, Sprouts. Farmers Market offers something rare in the grocery meat world: a supply chain that is easy to trace and verify. Every package of grass-fed beef at Sprouts comes from grass-run farms, a single-source Midwest operation. That name isn't buried in fine print or lost behind a private label. It's printed clearly on the tray, with antibiotic-free and hormone-free claims as the baseline, not a premium upcharge. Shoppers can scan a QR code and see batch-level certifications, including third-party lab tests for antibiotics and hormones. This level of transparency stands in sharp contrast to the mystery meat cases found elsewhere, where brand logos do more talking than the actual sourcing. While Sprouts' program is more specialized and doesn't cover every cut or customer preference, it answers the fundamental question: can I tell where this meat came from and what went into it? For those who value clear answers over marketing gloss, Sprouts delivers confidence that is easy to check. In the second place, Wegmans rewrites the script for grocery store meat by putting people and transparency at the center of every purchase. Direct contracts with family farms form the backbone of its sourcing, a detail that transforms each package from a faceless commodity into something traceable and accountable. Store managers make weekly visits to partner farms, providing hands-on verification that goes well beyond the standard checklist. This level of oversight isn't just a line in a brochure, it's documented in the company's sustainability reports and reinforced by the presence of in-store butchers, who cut meat to order and answer questions at the counter. The result is a meat department that feels managed by real people, not just distant suppliers. Consumers' checkbook surveys from 2025 reflect this difference. Satisfaction scores hit 87% in Washington, D.C., and 83% in Boston, numbers that place Wegmans among the most trusted names in the Northeast. While other chains rely on branding or case-ready trays, Wegmans earns its reputation through visible oversight and a willingness to let shoppers see how the sausage literally gets made. And finally, in first place, Costco finishes the list as the clearest case of a grocery store where buying meat is not a gamble. Consumer Reports shopper study for 2025 to 2026 put Costco at the very top for meat quality out of 55 major chains. That ranking came from more than 48,000 store visits and nearly 30,000 shopper surveys, measuring not just price, but the ability to see on the label the USDA grade of every cut. Walk into a Costco meat department and the difference is immediate. USDA choice and prime grades are displayed openly, not hidden behind a private label or vague marketing. This level of transparency means shoppers know exactly what they're paying for, and it makes stretching a fixed income that much less risky. The bulk model isn't just about saving money, it's about seeing the value in every pound, with in-store butchers ready to cut to order. Costco's hybrid approach, combining case-ready value with real butcher oversight, closes the loopholes that allow mislabeling and spoilage to slip through at other chains. For anyone tired of guessing what's behind the plastic wrap, Costco stands apart as the rare retailer where quality, value, and honesty align in plain sight. Across all 8 chains, one pattern stands out: branding and convenience can't bury the evidence. Recalls, fines, and supplier missteps keep surfacing behind glossy packaging. In 2026, the real test isn't the label, it's the sourcing. For meat buyers, every receipt is a clue. Choose carefully.